I'm going to continue with the whole issue of counting the Omer. 6, bonding, creating a relationship with others. So during the 6th week, we examine and refine sort of bonding, that is feeling for another, being attached to another. It is not a token commitment, it is a total devotion, a total commitment. And it creates a channel between the giver and the receiver. And bonding in a specific way is eternal. It should never stop. Bonding is the foundation of life because relationships are the foundation of life. They're the emotional spine of the human soul. Everyone needs bonding to flourish and grow. A mother and child, a husband and wife, between brothers and sisters, between close friends. Bonding is affirmation. It's a sense of belonging. It is, I matter, I'm significant, I'm important. But it's not me, it's the other. We must bring the other person to the place where he feels, she feels, I matter, I'm significant, I'm important. And it establishes trust. It establishes trust in self and trust in others, and it instills confidence. Without bonding and nurturing, we cannot realize and be ourselves. We can only be ourselves in community and whilst we engage. So the loving kindness of bonding. Love is the essence of bonding. Without love, bonding will fail. Attempting bonding without love brings total frustration. Love is the bedrock of bonding, and problems bonding are due to lacking knowledge. Practicing love is essential to bonding to take place, and unpractical love is not love and will disappear, will not bring about bonds, and what counts is not my experience, but the recipient's experience. A true bond will express itself in love in such relationships. Day 37, true bonding is not only dependent on love, but without empathy and unconditional love or compassion. So the Gevura, the discipline of bonding, it necessitates experiencing others' emotions. Experiencing others' emotions is a discipline. Bonding cannot circumstantially engage and withdraw. It needs to be disciplined. Bonding will not sway. It has discipline. Discomfort in another's life cannot affect bonding. So if the other person is an uncomfortable person, that does not mean that we have the right to say we're not going to bond. Because bonding, despite such content, has purpose improving the quality of another's life, bringing the gospel to those who would be resistant to it. It purposes to assist unobtrusively to modify such content. The challenge is to assist, to empathize, and to live through others' ordeal that affects all other factors that are irrelevant to the bond created. So empathy is to feel with another, but without running into the trap of sympathy, because sympathy is when you feel the same emotion as the other guy who's going through a difficult period. Here you have empathy. You understand what he is going through, but you don't get involved in the emotionality of it, because if you get involved there, you will not have empathy anymore, and you will not really be able to help. Day 38, the compassion of bonding, the Gevura of Yesod. Be careful not to bond with evil, but this does not precluding expressing love towards evil people, because a bond with evil people has the purpose to transmit love and bonding and to teach them love and bonding. Bonding must never be too close within personal boundaries. Bonding that is too close can lead to emotional dependence in the recipients, and the bond must be created to endure. It must not threaten the recipient's growth. Bonds themselves must also endure. The result of bonding should be maturity for both partners. We need to revisit existing bonds and see whether they adhere to principles. If not, we need to seek Spirit guidance to change it according to intention, because we don't really know what is going on in any other person. If the Spirit does not reveal to us how we are to interact with that person, we will interact incorrectly, and it will become very painful to the other person. Now, the endurance of bonding. Uncomfortable situations stretch relationships' limits, but they should display resilience. Resilience means there must be endurance in the bonding, and real relationships endure difficulty. They are true relationships. Respect and trust for the person to which one bonds must persist. It may warrant battle to maintain the bond. The recipient should realize what the price was that was paid for the bond, and the price relates to the value of the relationship, not the privileges that amass because of the bond. So the bond is not about what I'm going to get out of it. What it is about, what am I prepared to put into it so that it can be meaningful. And the test for bonding is the ability to overcome the threats that exist in the relationship. Day 40, the humility of bonding. Reciprocal humility facilitates bonds and pride threatens it. So when there is humility, obviously bonds can exist. Self-centered needs and wants create distance and make permanent bonding impossible. Humility creates a healthy appreciation of others, and bonding is easy. Healthy relationships are not self-serving. It binds with the other, and it's with other unique individuals. It respects their contributions to a more lofty union than the sum of the parts. So the union does not only become what you are and what I am. It lifts us both up beyond what we are, because we become more than the sum of the parts. The Spirit's presence attains humility. It creates God's presence in great relationships. It enables unity despite diversity by their obedience and His power. God is the content of true life and relationships that praise Him alone. Day 41, the bonding of bonding, the Yesod of Yesod. People should bond at work situations and privately, so at home. Bonding adds spice and beauty to life. It enhances life. Those who do not bond easily have difficulty in negotiating life happily. Relating to work, creating people who are difficult to live with is not good. The converse is also a problem. We are to relate to our work, and when we relate to our work, we are to create people who are easy to live with. And it must be because we are easy to work with, but that doesn't mean that we reduce standards or that the work is not done. People who cannot relate to work and others tend to judge others unfavorably. Self-centeredness threatens bonding. Bad childhood experiences engender fear and hatred and make bonding difficult by fear of people and fear of circumstances. Day 41, the Yesod of Yesod, the bonding of bonding, is still the bond despite limitations creates a dependency on the Spirit. The fruit of the Spirit facilitates real life relationships. The voice of the Spirit creates healthy relationships. The Spirit knows flaws and facilitates avoidance, preventing strife and pain. So if I'm listening to the Spirit at all time, the Spirit will take me into a direction where I do not land on the strife and the pain of another person. Listening removes barriers that the soul and others cast up against relationships. Successful bonding strengthens bonding. Obeying the Spirit, people bond successfully and do not experience threats. Bonds with strangers or situations, one can bond with strangers or situations, throwing one's full ability into the process. Day 42, the nobility of bonding. The best bonds arise from nobility and facilitate others' membership of the royal priesthood. So we all become royal parts of the royal priesthood, and therefore we all are bonding and we all are nobility. We should build both in relationships into royal priests, and bonding should never subdue character but facilitate its expression. And bonding must never threaten the person with whom a bond is made. It causes people to flee from relationships. Enhancing people's royalty and priesthood is part of the process. Bonding emphasizes natural abilities and strengthens weakly expressed bonds.